Right then, hello and welcome back to the channel. We've got another rebuild video as the West Ham one went down absolutely fantastically. So thank you for that. And for today, we're back in the Premier League and we will be using Newcastle United. There's been talk of takeovers for Newcastle for a couple of years, but now it's time for me to take over as manager and to try and get this team up into the Champions League and winning it within a few seasons. If you do go on to enjoy this one like you did the West Ham one, then please do drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will just run through the rules just in case you missed the last one. So the ultimate goal is to win the Champions League. All the games that we play will be simulated except the Champions League final, which I will go on to play live, and then the rebuild will end as soon as the Champions League has been won. So even if we haven't won the Premier League by then, the rebuild will be over. So here then is the starting team that Newcastle have. So Maximin up top, Wilson, Almiron. They've got the big names that you would expect and they've got quite a relatively good squad. My plan is probably to change that formation. That diamond in there is not going to be very good. They've still got Andy Carroll here, look at that. But that diamond there isn't going to be very good, isn't going to be very helpful. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean out the squad, we're going to bring in some new players with our budget of about 34 million with 150 wage budget. So it's not too bad, realistically, once I've done a bit of moving around there. So hopefully we'll be able to make some sales, bring some players in and see what we can do. We'll start with outgoings then, and Rodrigo Vilca is the first one to go out on loan to AZ Alkmaar for a year. Our first sale was Henry Savai out to New England Revolution in the US for 640k. We also sold Christian Atsu for 2.1 million to Bordeaux. We also sold Dwight Gale to Leeds for 3 million. We then sold Federico Fernandez to Athletic Bilbao for 3.8 million. Onto the incomings then, I decided on Tete, right winger from Shakhtar Donetsk. 22.5 million and a 5-year contract is pretty good if you ask me. We then sat down with Blackburn Rovers regarding Adam Armstrong up front. 12.5 million is pretty decent for the young man at 23.75 overall. Pretty happy to get him in. We then sat down with Orel Mangala from Stuttgart. 14 million they accepted for him. We got him in for another 5 years. You'd love to see it. And then finally we did negotiations with Swansea for Ben Cabango, a youngster at centre back, and brought him in for 4 million. And so after all those sales, here is our squad for season 1. I'm thinking with Wilson, Tete, we've got Mangala now, the sales at the back, Dubravka in goal and St Maximin on a wing. I'm thinking this is going to be quite a good team, you know. We've got Darlow, it's a pretty strong bench as well, and we've got some strong players in the reserves like Cabango, who should go well. Then we've got Joelinton down there, Andy Carroll's even still here, Hendrick's still here. We've got a decent squad. I'd be hoping for mid-table come the end of the season, but let's go and find out how January goes. And so here we are then in the Premier League in January in the first season, and we're 12th, which isn't really that bad. I'm about where I think I would like to look forward, maybe towards Arsenal, apparently. 30 points is definitely doable. Looking towards Europe, it's not happening this year. Burnley look like they're going to be flying into Europe, but other than that, we'll check the FA Cup, see how we got, and that is Chelsea in the third round, so we're probably going out in that. I'll just show you the Carabao Cup. And we actually managed to go out 1-0 to Ipswich away from home. Terrible result. We have done a little bit of business in January as well, and Jack Young went out to Barnsley on a short-term loan. We sold Paul Dummett to Benfica for 4.5 million, and finally we sold Jeff Hendrick to Atalanta for 5.2 million. But after the Dummett sale, then we decided to replace him with Yuri Ribeiro from Forest for 3.5 million in the end, which wasn't bad. And the final bit of business we did this January was to bring in Morgan Rogers, the youngster, the young winger, for 3 million from Lincoln City. Now let's go and see how we do for the end of the season. Much really has happened. It's not been that exciting as we still finish in 12th. Actually quite a decent way off at 11th. Burnley, they had a drop off after being 5th or whatever it was. I'll take it. Mediocrity in 12th isn't too bad. In terms of top scorers then, we had Callum Wilson coming in second, banging in the goals at 25, just behind Mane. And then if we scroll all the way down, we just get Tete in there with 11 himself. For assists, the only player we had on the list was St Maximin with 8 in 38 games. And for clean sheets, it went to Martin Dubravka with 9. And I mean, if we look at the stats as a whole for the squad, I think it was going to be quite obvious that Callum Wilson was going to be top with 25. Then it was Tete with 11, Miguel Almiron with 6, Maximin with 4, Mangala even got 2, as well as Armstrong off the bench. Assist-wise, again, pretty obvious that Maximin was going to be up there with his Premier League assists. Then it was Almiron just behind him with 7, which isn't too bad for him. Tete with 4 as well is pretty good. Isaac Hayden played a lot of games off the bench, 3 assists for him, very good. Fabian Schär, Callum Wilson on 2, and a whole host on 1. But now the challenge is improving this team a little bit more in season 2 and hoping we can push towards top of the table, so let's go. And on July 1st then of season 2, here we are with the squad. This is how it was pretty much lined up throughout the rest of the season, bar say the subs bench here. You've got the juniors come back from loan, but I'm personally thinking we need a centre back and maybe a right back as well who's a bit younger. I'm going to give Mangala another chance. He got himself an injury, but other than that, It's centre-back and right-back that are the main priorities. Before we've made any sales or anything, we were given around 42 to 43 million, which isn't too bad to be honest. So we make some sales, we bring in some players, and hopefully this is enough to improve the team towards the top of the league. So first up, Elliot Anderson will go out on loan to RC Lens for a year. Rodrigo Vilca leaves for 2 years on loan to Feyenoord, and Yannick Toure leaves to Reading for a year. And Kellen Watts went out to loan for Club Brugge for a year. First to leave permanently then is Kieran Clark for 5.4 million to Granada out in Spain. We also sold Mark Gillespie to FC Cologne for 1.5 million. A potential rival in Leeds have taken Yoshinori Muto for 2.5 million. And as much as I know some Newcastle fans will hate me for this, I have sold Sean Longstaff for 8 million to Valencia. And the final player to leave is Emil Grab for 5.8 million to Stade Brestois out in France. For the first signing we made, then we went and sat down with Mauricio Pochettino of PSG, of course, about Colin Dagba. And for 17 million, they accepted with a 5-year deal. You love to see it. And then it was time to raid recently relegated Southampton for Mohamed Salisu, and he's joined for 5 years. Nice and easy. And now I know I said I was going to give Mangala a chance, but I have gone in for Sadar, who we did manage to bring in for 21 million on a 4-year deal, and that wraps up the signings. And then this is the squad then after the transfer window that we have finished with for heading into season 2. It should grow well as well. That's what I'm really looking for, is this season is a growing season. If we can get to Europe and grow well, I think things are going to look good for us. So let's find out by going to January. And starting January, I may as well just mention we're in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. That's very good. FA Cup we just went through in the last round against West Ham. No need for you to see that. But if we look at the Premier League, we're sitting pretty in third. Now this is the sort of thing I'm looking for. We're not too far. We're actually level on points with Man United, and we're not too far off Liverpool. And the only bit of business then is I'm thinking of even getting even more centre mids in field. I don't know why I'm bringing in so many centre mids, but I am. But Mohamed Dahoud is available on a free, so we brought him in for next season. And with the signing of Dahoud in mind, we will just see that we've had the worst drop-off we possibly could have had, I think. We were third, in the league, and we've come all the way down to 6th. Man United 4 points ahead of us, so is City, so is Spurs. It's close, but we just were not good enough. In the rest of the competitions, such as the FA Cup, we went out to Brighton in round 5, which is not very good at all. As for the league top scorers then, we have Callum Wilson, who is only one behind Mane, who was only played one less game than him, so maybe he would have beaten him if he'd got another game under his belt, who knows. But assists wise, as you can see there in 15th is Tete, and that's all we had on there, which wasn't great. And for clean sheets, you can see Dubravka there down in 11th with 8. That needs to improve next year if we're going to go to top 4. And then looking at the squad as a whole over all competitions, Callum Wilson with 31 goals but only 4 assists, Maximan second with 18 goals, Tete with 16, Almiron with 7, Sadar with 5, Lewis 3, Armstrong 3, Dagba even got a couple. But as I was saying, assists isn't good enough. 8, no one, and I mean no one getting into double figures for assists, that's just not good enough. Tete was 8, Sadar 4, Wilson 4, quite a few on 4, quite 1 on 3 with Almiron, and then a few on 2 and a few on 1. But next season there needs to be quite a bit of an improvement. That's on the assists front, on the league front, on the draws front, everywhere. But season 3, hopefully there's some European football and we can make some big signings with a big budget. And once again then, here's the squad before we start season 3. Now you can see the growth that's happened during season 1. Dahoud is now here, or during season 2 should I say, sorry. I'm possibly thinking of upgrading Almiron going forward, maybe Callum Wilson. I know I need a backup right winger, maybe a backup centre back, although I've got Lejeune, especially seeing as we've been given around 60 odd million. I can probably make it to about 60 with a 100-day wage budget. 60 million isn't too bad, so let's do some business. Only the one loan this year then is Elliot Anderson goes out for a year to PSV. First sale up then is Kellen Watts for 1.6 million to Stoke. Then we sold an aging John Joe Selby to Augsburg for 7.4 million. And we next sold Yannick Toure to Real Betis for 1.7 million. And the first signing then we sat down to try and do was a big one, and that is Dominic Szoboszlai, which we managed to get in for 49.5 million. Next up, while looking for a backup right winger, I found Ryan Cherky with a release clause of 29 million. I think I'm going to go for it. And he comes in for a 5-year deal at only 18, still got so much more room to grow. Can't believe it, what a signing. And then here's the final squad going into season 3. Dahoud and Szoboszlai, 2 new additions to the starting 11. Overall, as a squad, I'm thinking this is going to be very good, and I'm hoping this means a top 4 finish and maybe a trophy along the way. That would be nice, so let's go and find out. Well, for the second year running then, we have made the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. This time it's to face Everton. Hopefully we do get to win that. However, in the Premier League, we are once again sitting 3rd. Things are looking the exact same as they did last year, but this time a little bit closer to the top, only 2 points behind the league leaders Liverpool and also City, so I'm pretty happy with that. this should be going good. I will actually show you the Europa League because we are in that still. Wasn't as easy with Rennes, but Genk and Rapid Vienna were never a challenge. Basically, we can just hope that the end of the season looks as good as now does. Right, that, by the way, I believe that's a cup final. That's not a good loss to Everton. I'm annoyed that it's going too fast, but we're through. We lost the cup. Are you kidding me? We're through in that cup. Oh, madness. Can we go through against Porto? Yes. But the league is not really looking good for us right now. That's the semi-finals of the Europa League, and I believe this is the semi-finals of the FA Cup as well. I might be wrong about the Europa League, but we're through against Roma, I would say. Yeah, semi-finals. That's the final of the FA Cup. We're out. We're in. Oh my god, we're in but losing. What's happened? That was absolute madness. Okay, that went very fast for me. Final of the FA Cup, final of the Europa League. But what we'll do is we'll do the finals first and then we'll check the league. So it's 2 cup finals in the space of 4 days basically. Now the first one is the FA Cup final. You're now looking at the squad so you can see how well it's grown over the course of the season. But we're going to quick sim this one and hope for a win. That's not good. That went to extra time. And then we got absolutely battered by a 10-man Spurs, might I add. Oh my lord. Personally, I just can't believe we've bottled a final to Spurs. But the team looks fully fit for this one, which is quite good considering we had literally another cup final 4 days ago. Now against AS Monaco, please can we win this one? No, we're out again. Oh my god, Emre Can scoring 7 minutes in. That's 2 finals we've lost in the space of 4 days. But the most important question is, have we qualified for Champions League? And luckily the answer is yes. By the skin of our teeth, by a singular point, we have made it into the Champions League. We'll have to go through the qualifying rounds, but that is fine. We're in the Champions League, but we will go and see our top scorers for this season. So if we look at goals then, Tete, 91 rated Tete, managed to get the most for us. Then Dominic Szoboszlai has come in and gone up 5 to 86 overall. Callum Wilson still getting 21. Then it's a long way back to Saint-Maximin on 9, Seder on 8, Lewis on 7, 6, 5 for Almiron, 4 for quite a few before it goes down to 2. For assists then, finally someone got into 10 assists. Tete getting 14, Saint-Maximin getting 13. This is much better than what I expect from these lot. 9 for Dahoud, 8 for Szoboszlai, 5 for Lewis and Longstaff, 4 for Almiron, 3 Dagba and a couple on 2. You love to see it. But the big question is now, can we push on in the Champions League? Push towards the top of the league, push towards the Champions League final. Those are the 2 things we want to do in Season 4, so let's do it. So going into Season 4 then, this is the squad we will be starting with before I've made any signings or any sales. And now you might be thinking that the defence is slightly weak, and you'd be right. But I'm not going to do anything about it because I'm thinking of replacing Dahoud and possibly Callum Wilson, who is ageing. And look, realistically, with an 84 base of all of them and Lewis with us 85, I'm quite confident that if this club can get to the Champions League final, then I can win it with them. We'll make a couple of signings, a couple of sales. Let's get into them now. I don't think there'll be too much of it. Once again, Elliot Anderson out on loan, this time to West Ham for a year. First sale we made then is Rodrigo Vilca out to Brentford for 5.2 million. We also then sold Oriol Mangala, who wanted out after not playing enough games, for 28.8 million to Athletic Bilbao. And a sale I didn't think I would be making, Adam Armstrong to Valencia for 40 million. And then the first signing I do look to make is the centre mid, and I've sat down with Piemonte Calcio, or Juventus as they are known, to speak about Rodrigo Bentancur. And luckily we managed to strike a deal for 54 million, and then we get the deal done for a 4-year contract, and in he comes. Rodrigo is our new centre mid. And for our final signing, I went and sat down with Pep because I know I could hear you shouting when I said I wasn't going to improve the defence. I could hear you shouting at the screen telling me I had to. So we had a chat about Aymeric Laporte, and for 82 million Pep was willing to let him go. And after what ended up being a tough negotiation about his contract, he signs on a 3-year deal, and we've got a new centre back. So I may have forgotten to show you this squad before we started going through the season. So this is the squad in January. So a few people have grown quite well, if I'm honest. Everyone is flying up, and this is the squad we've got. These are all the players we've got as well. I'm hoping it can get as far, so we'll check the league and stuff now, because at the moment this isn't going very well. 8th place, 21 games played is just not good enough. 33 points, but there's quite a few of us on 33 points. Should we win a game, we'll go straight into 6th, which isn't too bad. I mean, top 4 is looking far away. It's 6 points off as it is. If we check the other competitions, Carabao Cup, for example, we went out to Spurs 3-1 in the quarterfinals. The FA Cup, admittedly, we are in. We have gone through against Reading. I don't know where it is. There it is. Last one. We have gone through against Reading, but this is the only competition that matters at all. We're playing Barcelona. Of course we are, in the round of 16. Barcelona? Are you kidding me? After winning our group, we are playing Barcelona. I'm not too confident. We may be going another season here, boys, but hopefully we get through against Barcelona. And so not only did we make it past Barcelona in the quarterfinals or the round of 16, we've made it to the final against Dortmund. Now, I thought I recorded my live reaction, but apparently I did not because I hadn't clicked the record button. But we'll go and check now the fixtures and I'll just show you how we did through the rounds. So round of 16, we beat Barcelona 7-5 on aggregate. Quarterfinals, we got through on away goals with Atletico Madrid. In the semis, we beat them 2-0 on aggregate away from home. And as you can see there, we faced Borussia Dortmund in the final. But as I said, first things first, we've got to get through this Chelsea final. So what we'll do is we'll just sim to this date, and now you will get a live reaction to how we do in this final. Oh, we've won it on penalties. You love to see it. Finally, we've got ourselves a trophy just before the biggest trophy there is, the Champions League final, which will be played live. So let's go and see the team. And so this is the team then we've been running for the season, but I am going to make one slight change just for the Newcastle fans watching, if there are any of them. Jamal Lascelles will be starting the final as captain. Hopefully he finishes the final as captain while we win it as well. But it's a fantastic team. You can see that there. I am quietly confident we're going to win this up against a Dortmund team that is of course good. Jude Bellingham there, a player I've recently done a growth test on if you want to watch that video. But let's get into the Champions League final. Now I can't lie, I didn't quite expect to make it this year. Obviously we haven't checked the Premier League actually. I meant to do that first. But realistically all we want to do is lift that trophy because that ends the rebuild there as we know from the rules. But I'm taking this as a big chance to win Newcastle the Champions League they really want there. Let's go. It's an early corner. We've started on top. So Maximan over. Can Wilson win his header? He can, but it's cleared off the line straight away. On the counter attack now, and it looks like there's options wide, left and right. But I'm looking for Bentancur going over the top. Zadar or Szoboszlai puts him through. Rodrigo Bentancur strike in a corner. 10 minutes in, we've been on top by far. And we have smashed ourselves into the league, and it's 1-0 Newcastle in the Champions League final. Joao Lewis from left back. Can we put in Alisson Maximan? We can. Now we just need players in the box. There's Tete. Surely he's run past the ball, but Tete's going to get there, and he's going to finish 9 minutes after the first goal to make it 2-0. Now Dortmund may have been shocked at the fact they're pushing quite high forward, but we can't get too complacent. As you can see, there's Erling Haaland on the ball. They've got Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, Giovanni Reina. I'm still thinking they're going to get themselves a goal today. Reina now over the ball. It looks like it's going out to Sancho. He's going to get there. Out comes Laporte. Dives in, makes a good challenge. He's a rock at the back. Dortmund live dangerously. When they come forward, they're good. And we seem to be holding them off in defence. And then all we've got to do is just run away. So Maximan, what has he done? He's got to finish those. Not sure there's not long left in the half, but it's going to fall to Reina. He's a good ball through, and I believe that's Erling Haaland. It's got Dortmund a goal back right on the half-time whistle. I believe the whistle probably should have gone, if I'm honest. But it's now 2-1. And as we kick off, there goes the whistle. Now, I was happy with the first half until we kind of slacked off a bit. So we need to push on, get ourselves a third and wrap this game up. In Sancho into Jude Bellingham up against Lascelles. He's not got there. Can we get back at him? What a tackle from Jamal Lascelles at the biggest stage of them all. Unreal. So Erling Haaland, he's playing it through. Dubravka's going to have to come out. Oh, he's made it. And it's 2-2. I thought that was offside, but with 15 minutes to go, Thorgan Hazard, I believe, gets a goal back. Callum Wilson up against Diego Carlos. Now, it's a pretty well-matched race, but we just need players to help him out. There's no one with him currently. Can he turn it? Finds Szoboszlai, not a good pass. Szoboszlai now, surely the ball out there is Serdar, into Tete. Come on, Tete, on the biggest stage, smack it in. Oh, it is in the bottom corner, just like in the first half. I've said on the biggest stage for about 5 times this game, but I mean it. This is the biggest stage Newcastle have been on in a long time, and we're gonna win it, I think. Mounier now is gonna go backwards. Lewis is gonna force him back. He's put a foot in. Jamal Lewis still hasn't got there. The ball's coming in. Reina, block, clear from Zadar. Surely that's the end. Surely that's the end. With nearly 3 minutes over the time, the referee decides to finally blow his whistle, and Newcastle United have won the UEFA Champions League. I thought that whistle was never gonna come. I cannot believe how long it took him to blow it. And there's the black and white ribbons on the trophy. We can't wait to see Jamal Lascelles lift it. And here he is then. Jamal Lascelles takes hold of it, and he's gonna lift the Champions League for Newcastle United. In his wildest dreams, he never thought he'd do it. Unreal from him. That's a double this year as well, with the FA Cup to go along with it. But that is also the end of this rebuild. You love to see it. We'll go and check the Premier League. We'll go and check the top scorers and just see how the rest of the season went. But what a picture that is Lascelles with the Champions League trophy. So there you have it then, confirmation of a dramatic Champions League final where Newcastle United ran out 3-2 winners against Borussia Dortmund. But now we'll check every other competition. We'll start then with the Carabao Cup, where I believe, as you saw, we went out to Spurs in the quarterfinals. In the FA Cup, you did see that we won. It was 2-2 in the game, but we won 5-4 on penalties. You love to see that. That's 2 trophies this year. And in the Premier League, unfortunately, we actually didn't even make the top 4. Are you kidding me? We were way off. 5 points off. Madness. Okay. So we didn't even make the top 4. So luckily we won the Champions League, because technically they'll be in the Champions League next year if we were, of course, carrying it on. But we're not. Once again, then Callum Wilson is second behind a Liverpool player, and this time it's Mohamed Salah. He's got himself 25. So Bosley down there in 9th on 15 and Tete on 12. And that was it for us. This, of course, is in the league, but assist-wise, luckily, St. Maximin gets us 10. So Bosley gets us 8. And if we scroll down, you just see right at the end, South Sadar gets us 5. You'll have to see it. In terms of clean sheets, then Dubravka improves to 11. That's a little bit better, but I would have liked it to have been more. But I guess, considering we did come 5th in the league, he wasn't going to be doing too great. And we'll check the Champions League, where Tete is the top scorer for us with 8 goals, and just ahead of Callum Wilson, who got 6. Assists-wise, St. Maximin and Szoboszlai both on 5. You love to see it. Serdar down there with 3 as well. It's pretty good. And literally last on the list is Callum Wilson with 2. As for clean sheets, Dubravka managed 4. That's not too bad. In 13 games, you probably would have looked for a little bit more of that, but it's pretty good. We won the competition. Who really cares? And then as for our best performers, then we've got quite a few. In terms of goals, Callum Wilson on 34, Szoboszlai on 30, Tete on 25, St. Maximin and Sadar both getting into double figures, 12 and 11 respectively. But then even Bentancur got 6, Joelinton got 6 as well. Laporte with a couple, Longstaff, we've got quite a few. As for assists, St. Maximin leads out with 21. That's a lot better, with Szoboszlai also getting 14, Serdar's on 9, Tete's on 7, Bentancur, then Dagba, Wilson, Longstaff on 4. Really good from us this year. And overall clean sheets for Dubravka, then it was 20. He even got himself an assist. Would you look at that? So I will leave you then looking at how we lined up during this last season. And I would just like to say I really do enjoy doing these rebuilds, getting to a Champions League final, winning it with a team that you wouldn't normally expect to win it. It is always really fun. If you do enjoy these as well, please, of course, leave the video a like. Subscribe to the channel, of course. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on Twitch, where I stream quite often these days. I'd really love to have more of you over there. That would be a great laugh. I'll be back soon with maybe some Twitch highlights, maybe the Wolfsburg career mode, who knows, and another rebuild will be coming soon. But for now, I will see you all in the next one.